Welcome, everybody. I am very excited to be showing you today a demo of Decile Hub, but we've demoed the front end, and what we're going to do today is demo the back office. So my name is Adeo. I'm CEO of the Decile Group, which is the parent company of VC Lab, Decile Hub, and a lot of great things to help managers launch meaningful and enduring funds. I'm joined today by our head of development, Travis. Do you want to do a quick intro before we get started?
Hey everybody, my name is Travis Giggy. I'm head of product and tech at Decile Group, and I lead an incredible group of guys that have built the stuff that you see today. It's a real joy to do this.
So I'm not going to demo too many things today that are in beta, so hopefully nothing breaks. But I do want to say, demos are renowned when they're live to experience issues. So bear with us if anything comes up, but hopefully nothing will happen. And we're using all sample data today. So the stuff we show you is not things that are real. They're fake names, fake users that we've created specifically to demo the product. So without further ado, I think we should get started. But before I share the screen, I'm going to tell you what we're going to cover. So I'm going to talk you through how we set up the platform, right? How you set up team members, etc. Then I'm going to take you through some pieces of infrastructure that are used by the platform to run your firm and your funds. Then I'm going to demo some use cases, right, of how these infrastructure pieces are pulled together to help you run. I'll take you into the back office, and then we're going to show you some of the limited partner views as well. All right, so let's get started. I like landing on the main kind of screen to just basically show the dashboard, because you see, if you've been in an accelerator here at the top, you get stacked rank against other people in the accelerator for fundraising. Obviously, if you've not been in the accelerator, you don't see this, but it's kind of cool so you can see where you stand. It also shows you fundraising stats, and we're not going to focus that much on fundraising this time around because we spent a lot of time on it last time. It will show you how many commitments you have from limited partners signed. It will show you your deals, how many deal memos you have and what their status is, and you have a whole file system. But that's the dashboard. What I really want to get started with today is show you just setting it up. So obviously setting it up, there's a settings area on the left nav. We call this area over here the left nav. And you have all this information about your firm that you're going to enter. You can set the color scheme, logo, tagline. You have your own subdomains. So for whatever your firm is, you can edit that, your fund size, etc. But the main thing I want to get to is team, right? Because most people are not solo GPs. And even if you are a solo GP, you might have a venture partner, you might have an associate helping you. So after you enter your basic stuff about the fund, you're going to want to add team members. And it's really easy to add team members. As you can see, there's a team button down here. And all you need to do is hit invite new team members. You can enter their information and you can pick what they can do. Are they an admin where they can do everything? Are they just helping you with recruiting, fundraising, deal flow, connectors? So you can control what your team members have access to. And again, then you can easily see on this dashboard, what team members have access to which parts of the product. So if you have a venture partner that's just helping with deals, you can just enable the deals or deal flow for them right here, right? And then all that team member sees when they come into the product is the deal and deal flow area. If they're also, let's say, helping with fundraising, you can enable that. So you have control with the product, not only on who's on your team, of course, but what those team members have access to within the platform. And that's super important. once you have your basic firm set up, your team set up, you're going to want to work on your entities, right? And a venture firm is not really just a single entity. You may have, most firms have a management company, a general partner, then you'll have your limited partner, which is your fund, but you may have multiple general partners, multiple funds, even multiple SPVs. So this is your entity manager right here. Again, it's under settings. And so here is your Manco. It says management company up here. Here's your general partner. Here's your fund. And of course, you can go into great detail and edit the aspects of each one. The one that's going to have the most things to edit is obviously the fund, because that's where most of the action happens. And there's a really powerful set of tools here to help you manage your entities, right? And I want to move through a lot of stuff, so I'm not going to go through everything that the product has, but I'll just give you a quick overview. So obviously the fund name, this target size, the thesis, your deck URL, a description. The product's pretty intelligent. So if you're raising money from LPs, it can create dynamic close dates for you, but you can also add your own close dates. So you're going to say, hey, I think I'm going to close, let's say on September 15th, 2024. You could put in a target amount. It's estimated or confirmed, so you can add close dates. You can add some fund data, etc. You also can add vendors for the different entities. You can attach files. Of course, we had an error. I knew it would happen. I warned you. I'm like, oh.
Let's say that today you can't attach files, but tomorrow you will.
I was like, I know an error. And it's probably because we have demo data in there. This is a demo. But you can attach files. You can attach your bank accounts. And I'll show you what that means a little bit later. And you can have an activity feed on everything that's going. So you set your entities up and you have an incredible amount of power with those entities to go as deep as you want, or you could keep them as limited as you want as well. So once you have your team set up and once you have your entities set up, you're going to want to start to do things. So I'm going to show you now some infrastructure that we have. And since we went through fundraising, I'm going to just turn over to deal flow. And I'm going to talk a little bit about pipelines, stages, tasks, files, forms, and then I'm going to show you use cases where you're using that technology. All right, so pipelines are sort of the backbone of the product. And you could look at like a pipeline is just like a way to manage information where you can tag things and put things in stages. So we use it for deals, we use it for fundraising, we use it for recruiting, we use it for lots of different things. So pipelines are really a powerful tool. And pipelines can be very customized. So first thing I want to show is like you have sort of a default view up here, and it's got lots of information. But if you want to make your own view of something, right, you can go over, there's a gear here, and you can say, hey, I want to see stage first. I care about email and contact and notes, but I don't really care about next contact, last contact. Actually, deal memo is really important, so I want to put it up there. And I don't care about anything else here, right? All this other stuff is kind of not so important to me. So then I can save it, right? And what's going to happen is you're going to get a new view, right? And now your deal memo's up here, the rating things and quick notes. So you've created this, and then you can say, hey, I want this to be a Deos view, right? And so I can create a view. It's a Deos view. And now that's my default view. And this just allows you to make your experience of pipelines your own. And you could create all different kinds of views. So if I wanted a rating first view, I could create a rating first view. If I wanted to make a more detailed view about, you know, the money or the probability of closing deals. I could create a probability view. So views
We have
really,
a lot of people that use this to separate out the different stages of their deal flow process, and so filtering, diligence, um, deal memos, and then closing. So views are really useful for lots of different things.
thank you, Travis. And I'll try and put you more center. So if you move around, I'll stop talking. And beyond just the views, you'll notice that everything here right now is sorted by stages. Like, so you can unsort them by stages, right? You can, so there are powerful ways to sort the information in pipelines. You could order them by name, you could search by name. So there's a lot of powerful tools within the pipelines to let you manage everything. And soon we'll be releasing Kanban views and different views. Right now, you have this powerful view tool that I'm showing you right now, and that you can customize ad nauseum. And one of the powerful ways that we organize information is around stages, right? And so when you get Decile Hub, and what we can do now is, if people want, we can maybe Travis, you can put into the chat a invitation code. So if you go to decilehub.com, Travis is going to pin an invitation code into the chat. You can sign up if you haven't done so yet. And but we organize information in pipelines by stages. And when you get the product, we have stages set up for you automatically that are kind of work for most firms and funds. So let's go check those out for deals right now, right? So when you go, you see in deals here, you're going to see deal stages. And here are a bunch of preset stages for you. And in each of the stages, you can have tasks and activities that you can configure. But as I mentioned, they come configured for you. So if you're screening a deal, it will say, hey, do initial fast deal screening, then screen the deal and thesis stage more detailed, then update the deal details. And then it even has, if the screen is good, you can do these things. If the screen is not now, you can do these things. So we have all this stuff set up for you, but it's really easy for you to add your own stuff, right? So again, maybe screening's really well done. So I can go up here and to something that has less things. So if you want to add something like added, you know, share with team might be something you want to do when you add it. So I just type it in, hit return, and there we go, share with team. Now, if I wanted to have some subtasks under share with team, I can edit it, right? And so it says add a subtask. So maybe share with team, I could say send an email. I can pick an email template to send, and it will automatically send that email when that task has happened. So you can build pretty complicated workflows to whatever you need using the tools, using these stages, and using these tasks. So you can send emails, add notes, set variables, copy it to a pipeline. You can move it to different stages. You can assign people that you want to work on it. So let's give this, are you in here, Travis? There you are, Travis Test, or there you are, the real Travis. So you can assign people the tasks. So you can build whatever workflow you want, and you can build it here for the pipeline, right? So this applies to everyone. But if you go back to the deal flow, you can also just do it for an individual thing. For example, ABC Test, if you want to mess around with their specific workflow for that specific deal, you can again, you know, have the team review. And so you can build this for everyone, and you can build these workflows for individuals as well. So the pipelines and the stages and the related tasks are very powerful. And again, you can reorder them when they're done. You can click that they're done. And of course, In this case, it will change to stage to screen, execute, and it will execute whatever you did. So I don't know if you want to add anything about the pipeline stages and tasks, Travis, but they're
Dave, would you mind taking a quick moment to make me a co-host so that I can post this invitation code?
oh yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
You are now a co-host, Travis.
Thank you, sir.
Do you want to add anything on pipeline stages or tasks, or I want to go on and show some other things and eventually how we use them?
Pipeline stages and tasks are incredibly powerful. We've built in all sorts of automations into this so that if you want to set up your stages so that you can automate the deals process, it's very easy. You can send automated emails for getting meetings, or lightly rejecting deals requests, for even setting up things that populate data into your deal memo. They're really powerful. And if maybe some other time we'll have another event on the automations of pipelines.
Yeah, that we could probably do a whole event on best practices on automations. But what I wanted to show today is that you have the power to, it comes with all these presets that make it super easy for you, but you can delete all those presets and make your own system as simple or as complicated as you want to meet your needs. I want to show a couple other things, and then I actually want to get to how they all work together. So I'm going to close some of these things on the side, and we're going to go down, and I want to go to files for a minute. So files are really another powerful aspect of the tool, because you may be sharing files with LPs. You may want to share files with vendors. You may want to have people share files with you. You may want to send wiring instructions. Anytime that there's a file that you need to get out to the world, we have a powerful section to allow you to manage those. And again, it's called files. Pretty straightforward. So when you go into files, you'll see sort of a standard list of things, that the different file folders. And so if you want to, let's say, go into your presentation folder over here, right, you can see, oh, I have a sample fund presentation, right? Okay, that you might share with limited partners. If I go into that sample fund presentation, right, then I can see who looked at what for how long. Now, actually, I was demoing that. I was using this today, so I stayed on the page for a really long time, so it messed up the views of everyone else. So that was me, Adeo Resi here, that did that really long view. So if I actually delete myself, right, you'll get more of a traditional view of how long people look at different pages, right? So it's like a classic file sharing system, and that whenever you share a file out and someone looks at it, everything that they look at is tracked. Now you can see what everyone did on average, but if I go down here and look at Jane Doe, I could see what Jane looked at specifically, or I can look at what John looked at specifically. So now you have the ability to share files and see what pages were looked at specifically. And in addition to that, I think that our file viewer is one of the better file viewers out there for sharing things. So if I wanted to go preview the file right now, right, what you'll see here is something that you're very used to, right? It's like vertical scrolling, but it's tracking as I scroll through the different things, how much time I'm spending on each page. It allows me to select text, right? Click links. Now, when you share stuff through other sharing systems, let's say DocSend and the like, it puts it as a graphic on the page. So you can't select things, you can't click links. You kind of have to click that stupid button on the to go. And that's not how people look at things. They're used to scrolling through stuff with their mouse, right? And that's the natural way. And we've built that experience with selecting text, clicking links, and everything else, while also tracking everything. And there's some other really cool things that we can do, which if we go back here. So as Travis said earlier, there's lots of things that you can automate. So if here in the sample fund presentation, You can automate it. That's so when someone looks at the presentation, you could say they go into, let's say, the limited partners one, and that they've now, you want to follow up with them because they've looked at the presentation. So they go into the follow-up stage. You can automate what happens when different events occur very easily in the platform. Now, I want to go over here and also show there's some other cool things you can do. So with folders, you can, for example, have permissions who can look at them, anyone, just specific people or people in a pipeline. You could you can create a rich text welcoming. So when they come in, they have something that they see, a message that you write, rather than just like what happens now in DocSend and others, where it's like, enter your email, like, that can be jarring. Now you can write the messages. You can also put conversion links, banners above the files themselves. So here, you want to show a PACT banner, and PACT is to get a commitment letter. So let's say you're sending this to LPs and you want them to commit to investing in your fund. You can put a banner that says, commit to the fund above the document that they're seeing right here very easily. So don't show the banner, do show the banner, and you have options for the different banners to show. And then you can obviously toggle if you want the files downloaded or not. So these are very powerful tools. I can tell you that Files is one of the most used things in the platform because you're always sharing information as a VC. Deal memos, you're sharing quarterly reports, investor newsletters, wiring instructions, and you want to know who looked at them. You want to have tools to see what was done, et cetera, and we provide all of that. Do you want to add anything, Travis, about Files?
Yeah, just one thing that I think is really cool. There's a deep vertical integration between lots of different things inside of Hub. And so if you take any link to a file or a folder inside of here and you share it via email through the Hub pipelines, it will automatically pass the person that clicks on that link through the authentication, and they can land directly on the file. So you still get to track who saw what, but you don't have to give them the headache of having to log in to see the information.
Right. So think about that now. You don't necessarily want your LP to sign in to do something like review a newsletter, right? But you don't want to maybe send a confidential newsletter through email so the world can read it. So now you can send them an authenticated link that they go right in. Now, I want to, we also have one other quick thing that's pretty cool is that we have preset, when you create, let's say, a new folder or new data room, you can hit a button and it will put preset folders in there so that you can have a whole data room structure done for you with one click, right? So again, if you go into the Files section, and then you hit create a new folder and you see add the standard Decile Hub structure here. When you do that, you get a data room preset with every folder you need to just start populating, and you don't have to create a bunch of different folders manually. It's all done for you, and then it's just a matter of uploading. And probably one other cool thing to show here, by the way, so let's just go back to anything. Uploading is a breeze. You can not only just hit your upload button, but you can drag and drop. And let's see if I have. So if you just drag something on screen, can you see that, Travis, when I drag it?
Yep. We can't see the drag, but we got the drop zone.
Yeah. You just drag anything on the screen. And by the way, you can drag anything on a screen anywhere on the entire site. And it will, if it's in a folder like this, it will upload it to the folder. But if it's somewhere else on the site, it will upload it to a what is it called? Unfiled folder.
Unfiled,
right?
yeah.
Right, and then you can file it when you move in. So files are really a powerful thing. I want to show one other really powerful back office tool that we have, and then I want to do some use cases and go into some other things. So we've built an entire form system right, in Hub that includes signing. Okay. So you can sign kind of anything. You can sign safe notes, you can sign an LPA. We put like a Carta subscription packet because it's one of the most complicated things we've ever seen. So we're like, can we do that? So it's like anything that you can imagine, you can load in here. And one of the nice things about it, let's say if we go into the LPA, so you have this form builder, right? That's like a classic form builder. And if you go and let's say preview it, let's say this is a sample signing of an LPA, you can, when you sign these things and you fill these forms out, they update the system. So you could create a form to get an update on portfolio companies. You can get a form to sign an LPA. You can get a form to sign a venture partner agreement. So this is a demo of a sample form to sign an LPA. Obviously, a real form might have some more variables. And as Travis said, when you send things out, they can be pre-populated. So let's say I'm going to commit 250,000 to the entity. Fill stuff out here. I'm going to give my date of birth. Right. And then I'm going to just say, yeah, I'm a citizen. It's going to ask me for a social security number, which I'm going to put in a fake one, obviously. Then it says, okay, please review everything. That looks good. So this is just a sample signing process here. I want to put in a test email, right? Okay. And then it saves my signature from another time, but you could use a typed signature, right? Or I could use a drawn signature, then agree to sign it. I could preview the doc if I want, and then just sign, and it's signed, right? So what we're showing here is like these forms can be used for, again, a variety of different circumstances, and we have built-in digital signatures in the system, so it can, easily sign things like an LPA, etc., for you to go and use for whatever you need. And I don't know if you want to add anything here, Travis, about the form process, but
I would only add that there's a fully legally compliant cryptographic audit trail and signature trail. And so in the grand majority of countries in the world, this is a legally compliant signature. And it's completely integrated again into Hub. And so you can create this form, you can pre-populate it with somebody's information from Hub, and you can send it out pre-populated and they can sign it. We also have multiple different signing flows. And so if somebody needs to sign something and then somebody else needs to add an extra signature, or if there's an in-house review that's required, we have capabilities for that as well. It's very powerful.
right. And so just to give you a sense, like the form builder itself is like any sort of form builder you've used. So if you have how much money your entity investing, which you saw previously, you could then add, text fields, text area. So one of the things I really like about the product is you see there's a scroller over here, date, currency, email, number, select menu. It's got like phone number, URL, file upload, social security number. It's got a wide variety of different field types that you don't commonly see that can accommodate all different types of things that you want to collect from portfolio companies, that you want to collect when signing any type of agreement. And so it's a very powerful tool that allows you to do a lot of different things with the product. Okay, now I want to go into some different use cases. Okay, so we talked about some of the underlying infrastructure, forms, files, pipelines, etc. But you can use that infrastructure to do different things. So obviously, let's say you want to build the team. And here you are, Travis. We have a recruiting pipeline, right? The recruiting pipeline has a bunch of preset stages for you. Again, initial screen, first interview, test project, check references, trial as a consultant, negotiate. So all these are pre-built for you, so you can use the tool to recruit people. But one of the ones I want to show you is really deal flow, because deal flow is a powerful area of the product that allows you to manage deals that you're doing. So one of the nice things we do with specialized pipelines like fundraising, deal flow, et cetera, is you have all the power of a pipeline, and then you have some specialized features and functionality as well. So in the case of deal flow, it's like a pipeline like we saw before, and there's a couple cool specialized things. So first, you're going to know under deal flow, you're going to see there's a second little pipeline called portfolio. And what that is just when you have a deal that you've invested in, you don't necessarily want to keep it in a pipeline where you're tracking, so you can move it into the portfolio pipeline, right? So this allows you to segment out deals that you've done from deals that you're considering doing. And as you can imagine, the portfolio stages are going to be very different. So you're actively engaging them, you're trying to get an update, they're doing a new funding round. So you have different stages for your portfolio companies than you do with the companies that you're trying to evaluate and possibly invest in. So let's go back to the deals for a second that you're thinking to do. Another neat feature in this is that we have deal memos, right? So you can build deal memos, and they're really, to the best of our knowledge, we're the only system out there that can actually allow you to build a deal memo with a team. And I'm going to take you through that. And you can see I put deal memos right here. And of course, you can make this a little bigger if you wanted, or smaller, but I put deal memos third here. And I want to go into a deal memo, but before I go into a deal memo, I want to just show you how you can customize a deal memo. So deal memos on a whole have ratings on different categories, and then they have questions that you fill out to build the deal memo. So at the top are your ratings. You can add ratings if you want here. You can reorganize ratings. You can say, hey, I think that the market is the most important thing. The founders are number 2, so you can order them in whatever way that you want. And then you have a bunch of questions, right? So you have categories, questions about the company, questions about key risks, general questions. You can order these as well. You want general maybe first. So you could drag general first. Maybe you care about this question in the general. Maybe you don't care about a question, you can delete it. And we come with a preset list of ratings, categories, questions, so that you can use them, delete them, reorder them, make them your own, but you have something to begin with, right? Then if you go back, let's say the deals, and you want to look at an actual deal memo itself, we can go into this sample company here. You can see it right there. And this is what a deal memo looks like. By the way, if there isn't a deal memo for a company, so let's see if one's missing, it will say add a deal memo, right? So you could just click that, and the company, is it an initial one, a follow-on, or are you doing a secondary, etc.? But let's look at a deal memo that's already there, so it's a little further along. Now, we have a deal, so to speak, with Crunchbase, so you can type the name of something in, and it will suck information out, like an overview, etc. But you can also edit them yourselves, so it will pull up a classic popover on the side. You get the company name, website, who it was referred by, description, runway, lots of information you can add here, people. And of course, again, you can add details across the board. You can see all the activity with that particular entity as well. So it's very easy to add and edit things. I want to go down and just look at some specific things like funding rounds. So funding rounds obviously are very important to consider when you're doing a deal. And so if you want to add or edit funding rounds, you go over here, pops you over in the funding round area. See 2 rounds were already done. So you say, hey, there might be another round happening. And our funding round system's pretty smart. So if you say, okay, it's going to be maybe a pre-seed round, it's going to guess that that's going to be a safe, and it's going to give you a close date and things like a cap and a discount. But let's say you're going to thinking it's more like a Series A. It's going to guess that's a preferred and do price per share, pre-money, etc. So you have all your major deal types in there, and there's some intelligence to help you. You can even just upload the raw agreements, and we're working on AI tools that will read those agreements and even suck that information out for you if you upload them. And that hopefully that will be on the way soon. So adding funding rounds is really easy when you're working with deals. This is your rating. One of the cool things about what we've done with the rating is it's blind rating. So I don't get to see what Travis is rated until I rate it. So if I go here and I hit edit rating, this is the rating user interface. You can pick 1 to 5, no threes, 1 to 10, whatever you want. This is a 1 to 5, no 3 scale. So obviously 3 is grayed out. I'm going to give them a bit higher rating here because I think this is an awesome company. Of course, it's fake. So I hit rate the company, it updates it. And again, once I rate it, then I get to see what everyone else in the team has rated it. And this prevents if the top guy or top woman on the team rates something and you don't want that to influence other people. And then down below, you get all the questions. You can edit the question itself. You can edit the answer, and you can build this deal memo. Now, one of the neat things about everything being integrated is that all those ratings now show up in the pipeline. So you get if you go back to the deals pipeline, if you've done a rating for a company, you can see what the rating is for that company in your pipeline, right? So the ratings from the deal memos are now integrated in your quick view, right? Which is very powerful. But there's other powerful things. For example, let's say you want to export and share this. Well, in the past, you'd have to turn this into a PDF, download it to your computer, and email it to people. Well, now you hit export and share. You say, hey, I want to export everything, or I don't want the ratings in there. So you can choose what's in there. And then it goes right into your file system. You don't need to download it. So if I go here, boom, here is that deal memo that I just produced in the file system. And I can share that link out. I can look at it, right? I can preview it in our file viewer. And one of the major advantages of this is you're not sending stuff that contains sensitive information through email. It's 2024, everybody. We should not be sending sensitive information about your investments, about anything through email, period. It is an insecure medium read by hostile nations, right? So now, you don't need to download it. You can download it if you want, of course, right? You can it instantly defaults to saving it. And of course, if you want to download it, you can download it in a number of different places. So yeah, it's pretty powerful. There's a number of other things here. We can go forever, as I said. So there's a bunch of things I want to get through. You have a whole review and comments process. So you could submit this for a review. In this case, our team at Dessel Group will review your deal memos with you, but you can also build your own review processes. And before we leave deal memos, is there anything you want to add on that quickly, Travis? And then I want to show some back office stuff.
No, you've done a great job with this.
All right, let's jump into the back office. It's taking a little longer, so I'll speed up. and then we'll get some questions in. Okay, the back office is another super powerful area of the product. So if you click into back office, if you remember in the beginning of the demo, when we set up, I said you can add your bank accounts. And when you add your bank accounts, there's a Plaid integration, and it will read your bank account information and tell you within, 24 hours, so in less than a 24-hour period, how much money's in the bank accounts, and then how much money you have to invest. And a lot of managers said the thing that I want to know most at any moment of time is how much money do I have to invest? Because I'm always looking at deals and I want to see what I have available right now and what I have potentially available. So that's the first screen that you see in the back office. But of course, you can also see your full fund performance, your net IRR, your RVPI, etc. And let's say you're not quite sure, like, what is a good net IRR? We have AI built in so that you can ask a question anywhere about the product, about how to use the product, about venture capital, about writing an email, about anything. And you're going to get an answer right there while on the screen so that you can stay on the screen, not have to leave, not have to go somewhere else, and get the answer that you need very quickly in an instant. And again, you can see quarterly, you can see yearly performance, etc. In addition, you can generate reports really easily. So again, year to date, this quarter, etc., whatever report you want. And again, you can load it into the file system, but a lot of the accounting people obviously want to mess around with the raw data themselves. So we have download buttons right here to make it very easy for you to get them right away, download them to your computer, and play around with the data on your computer. In addition to that, I want to just show doing a capital call and capital accounts. So the product, excuse me, is fully integrated. And that makes it very unique compared to other things on the market today. So every LP is in the system. The status of every LP is up to date. And doing things like capital calls are very easy. So if you wanted to do a capital call from your LPs, you go over here, you hit start a call, you hit the amount that you want to call, let's say 500,000 to do a deal. Boom, and it immediately updates it in real time. And you'll see that there's a little bit extra because it knows that in a past capital call, some accounts were underfunded, so it will gross it up to capture previous underfunded. So it does this all automatically. You don't have to think, you don't have to do anything. It's done. It's done for you. Okay. Then you just hit back and you hit capital call and it's done. What happens in this case is there's a review, you can check everything, then you confirm it. And when you confirm it, it sends emails to everybody. And what they do is they go and that email says, hey, there's been a capital call, check your account. And you can preview what these accounts look like here, right? And then you'll see, hey, here's the open. Now, this is an LP, Able. It's obviously a fake LP. And I can preview what that LP sees by clicking this little I. When I go there, this is what Able sees as an LP. There's a little flashing megaphone because there's a capital call. The capital call's here. I can see the details of the capital call, right? If there's no wiring instructions in the system because it's a fake account, but if there were wiring instructions, the wiring instructions would be available right here. Those wiring instructions are in our file system. They're not being sent around by email, so they can't be hacked or changed, which is it happens to all major funds in the world. Wiring instructions get intercepted, changed, and then, either firms wire money to the wrong people or LPs wire money to the wrong people. That doesn't happen here. The wiring instructions are on a website, secure, not being sent through email, right? In addition to that, you know, that LP can see their tax documents, how the fund is performing, charts and graphs of performance. I want to show something else really cool, because if you want to send a document to an LP, you no longer, again, have to email it to them. You can go, every LP has a, this is Abel's, you can see him here, folder in the file system. And all I need to do is like upload a file. I can drag it or just pick a file. Let's pick like the Dessel Group presentation, boom. And when I upload it here in the file system, it will show up for Abel here on his dashboard. It takes a second, it will refresh it, and you'll see that the Dessel Group presentation is now available for Abel right here. So what happens is, again, we take email out of the equation. If you want Abel to get a document, you just upload it for him. It shows up in his private data room, and that whole experience is very easy. And you can customize this experience for your LPs very easily. I'll end on that note. It's called Dessel Pro, and you'll see Dessel Pro settings here. You just click that. You can change your fund thesis, your fund description. You can add news. You can choose to show or hide graphs. You can add managers. You can add wiring instructions. So that whole experience for that LP is very easily customized in a single spot. Now, I went through a lot of stuff today. We do have some time for questions, but Travis, do you want to add anything before we wrap?
We're getting lots of questions. Let's jump right in.
All right, everyone. So you got to see a touch of the entire back office. I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and we'll share it as needed to answer the questions. So we're going to do questions by the ones that have the most upvotes. So there's a thumb. If you see a question you like, upvote it, and we'll go through them quick. How does Dessel Hub complement or replace tools like AngelList, Carta, which are regarded as the industry standard? I would say the AngelList and Carta, a lot of firms that use our product and AngelList and Carta, but a lot of firms that use our product also just use our product and don't use AngelList and Carta. So to give you a sense of scale, the product today is used by over 10% of all operating venture capital firms worldwide. Okay. So I think that and if you look at new and emerging managers, we're about half of all new and emerging managers are using our tool today, and about 10% of the total market. So I think we are the new AngelList and Carta, and they don't have the functionality that we do integrated. So they have a lot of pieces, and a lot of times they're not integrated, and we have it all and it's integrated. So a lot of new and emerging managers don't want point solutions. They don't want to have Carta. They don't want to have Affinity. They don't want to have Notion, DocuSign, DocSend, an accounting firm. So you have to add all these different pieces, and we give it all together, right? And so people prefer that. To go to the next one, is there a way to restrict access to particular fields on a per user basis? In other words, can I let Bob see everything except field X? Not currently. Travis, do you want to, I don't know what the plans are about that.
We've been laying in some infrastructure to be able to do that. Today, you can restrict access to a certain page or not a certain page, but not a certain field on a certain page. We do have a lot of stuff that is only available for an admin to see on a page, or a Dessel admin if you invite us in to help manage your account. But we could get a little more granular on those permissions in the future.
Yeah, we have the ability to. It's just that gets kind of complicated, right? So if you're like, imagine right now, it's like you have a bunch of different areas you can switch on and off. When you get to the field level, you have like a lot of areas. So it's something we can do. We just haven't done it. And if there's a need, we build the product in conjunction with our users. So if a user wants something, we'll make it. For deal flow, can Dessel Hub be set up such that when startups who want to send an email with a deck pitching? Yeah, I forgot to show that. We just ran out of time. There's a whole inbound. Let me see. It's under deal.
Yeah. While you look forward, I'll explain it. So every single Hub instance comes with a deals pipeline that's pre-populated for you. That deals pipeline has an attached form that will allow you to send off a link to people so that potential portfolio companies or those that would like for you to consider their investment can fill out the form. You can customize the form in whichever way that you want. And when they submit it, they get popped right into your deals pipeline, into a specific stage of the deals pipeline.
Right. So there's this forms, investments, right? Submit your startup. So you can build it. This is a preset form that everyone gets when they get Dessel Hub. And then you can look at it right here, submit your startup. And when someone fills this form out, they can put their deck in there, etc. That will populate it right in the thing. And so, of course, you can customize it. So you could put like whatever. So I just added some stuff, save changes, reload, and you're going to see like you make this your own, right? But it does pre-populate the entire experience. And by the way, you can do that for limited partners. You can do that for deals. You can get updates on deals. So you send, hey, I'd love to see how the company's doing. You send a form out to get an update. It updates the pipeline. It tells you when it was updated. So we've tried to automate as much as possible on that. Can I add multiple pipelines under my Dessel Hub account? Yes, you can. Right now, we don't have the ability for you to do that yourself. You just write us and we'll add you a pipeline, but that's in the works to do multiple pipelines. Yeah, coming soon. We do it for you, and I have tons of pipelines. So, okay. Next, we're a team of 3 and contacting many LPs. Would you recommend sending emails through shared email or personal emails? So look, we didn't show this because we showed it last meeting. When you can send it through your own email, and if you're using Dessel Hub, and I would always recommend sending it through your own email, the Hub will if a prospect's in there and your email's connected, it will show you all the previous emails from everyone who has connected emails. So this is super important, and I could probably show that quickly as well, because it allows you to see what your teammates have been sending someone. So I think in the fundraising, we can get a little better sense of this. I think maybe like if we go over to Woody, pull over here, we go to the activity feed. Every single email that's inbound or outbound for this prospect will show up in the activity field if your team's emails are connected, right? So here you can see the email, you can see the content of the email. If there are links in the email and those links are being tracked, you can see if links are clicked. So the whole email history is in one place. So, this eliminates the need for you to create shared email addresses and things like that, because it's all tracked anyway, and you can see it very easily with a click or two.
I'll also just quickly mention that you can assign different of your teammates to prospects inside of the pipelines. And when you use Hub to send them emails, it can default to whoever's assigned to the prospect. And so if you use Hub for all of your communication, then it's very easy to see who's sent what, who's received what, and then to more or less automate those communications.
The type of investors in funding rounds may be added more categories, an SPV or an investors club over a VC. Yeah, you can have all different kinds of investors into your funds. We support, first of all, the system itself supports SPVs, fund of funds, etc. And we have SPVs, fund of funds, etc. running on the platform. And then as investors coming into these entities, obviously we have SPVs, fund of funds, etc. So that's fully supported. Does your management company functionality manage carry for the team? You may know the answer to that better than I do, Travis.
Well, so it does. We do manage carry for the team. We manage all the percentage of split for everybody in the system, not just LPs, but also the carry for the team. We've also worked with funds in the past that do reinvest their management fees as carry. And so the system has been built very, very flexible so that we can handle a lot of different scenarios.
Matthew's asking about UK. Does it support? So in the UK, so Decile Hub is a tool, and you can use that tool in all different domiciles around the world. And people are using Decile Hub today in UK, Europe, and very complex domiciles all around the world. You still need to comply with local laws and regulations like you're talking about with the FCA. So you're going to need to have the licensing, etc. And then you can use the tool to support your activities following local rules and regulations. We have operating versions of it where we help you run your funds right now in the US, Canada, the BVI, and Europe are the 4 domiciles where we support more proactively. Chris is asking, can you collect or build due diligent file room, either pre-fund or for team to scan backroom facts on the startups? Absolutely. The file system can be used to collect information. It can be used to share information. You can use forms to collect information as well. So there are a number of different ways to collect information and store information in the system today. Okay, let's keep going. Lior is asking, in the deal memo, when click delete instead of edit, as I did by mistake now, all my long answers were deleted. Can you please add a pop-up warning before that happens? And we don't hard delete things, correct, Travis? We keep them for a little while so we can restore things from backup. Isn't that
in many cases we can. Leo, reach out to me directly and I'll see if we can't get that back for you.
Yeah, so we're happy to help there. Okay. And we'll put a confirmation on that. Let's see. So what does the back office support equalization between LPs when doing closes? Yes, in fact, it supports both equalization and unequalization, right? Because sometimes people wire in more. So yes, Ted, it does both things. Now we're kind of out of time, and there's another event coming in on this line. Now they won't come in exactly on this line, but we need this line for another event, was a better way to put it. There's a few questions that still haven't been answered, and honestly, we didn't show everything that we could. Maybe Travis, you know what might be fun? Maybe we just do a Q&A on Hub, where the whole thing is like, can you do this? Or how do you do that? And we'll just answer your questions and show you how. Because believe it or not, we did 2 full hours, one on fundraising and one on the office. And I don't think we showed everything the product can do. Close,
Pretty
though.
massive.
pretty close, but not quite everything. And by the way, in 2 full hours of showing everything the product can do, we only had 1 error. So
actually, my team already has a PR in place to fix that one too.
awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we do. We'll be sending the video out. This was awesome. Thanks, everyone.
That's right.